let me ask you something
That's fine.
as a lesbian,
Yes.
because I know a lot of gay guys that are romantic with another guy,
Yeah.
and they break up and they remain friends for the rest of their life. But I have not heard that happening with women.
Would you like to know why?
Yes.
Because we're women. You answered your own question. Because imagine, if you will,
Yes.
you're a lesbian.
Yes.
Which is what? A woman. And you're with another woman, lesbian or not.
Yes.
Now we're two women together.
Okay.
What does that mean? Hell. Why? because you're two, I say this about gay men, are two men,
Right.
unfettered men together without a woman to civilize them. So now we have fucking in holes through walls and we do every sexual thing we want because we don't have women around to civilize us.
But we're smart enough to know that we're both successful. We're going to stay married forever.
But men-
and that's men.
'Cause it's
and we're
men.
going to be richer than ever because we're going to stay. We're going to form companies together. But we're still going to have some fun with some dudes on the side.
We're
But
gonna
it
do
won't
orgies.
mean anything because we're really life partners. But women,
Can you imagine?
no way. Yeah, I know.
Imagine women cannot
Just
have
like, bye,
that.
Peter. Have fun at your orgy.
No,
Yeah.
you would no.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can't. We can't. We can't handle the responsibility of that. We
Okay.
can't handle the weight of that. We're threatened. We're jealous. We're insecure. We're codependent. We're women.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's something going on out here, and I don't know if it's my algorithm per se or what, but like, it's a lot of studs that's going back to men. I'm seeing a lot of content about women telling their stories about how they going back to men because women are just too wicked out here. Like, these women aren't just, they're not over their gay phases and they're just like, okay, fun's over. Like, nah, I really do like women. I want to take a woman serious, but you know what? These women are so wicked out here, bro. Like, if I'm gonna be with a being, I might as well just pick the lesser out of two evils.
Yeah, it really is the lesser of two evils, because when you look at the statistics on LGBTQ relationships, the women who date women, lesbian women, have the highest rates of domestic violence and the highest rates of divorce at about 75%. And the reasons for why they divorce is the same reasons for why they divorce men, is just at a higher rate. So it's really interesting to see that even when women date women, oftentimes there's a bigger issue amongst those marriages. And I think that this just directly quantifies the fact that it has to be a lot of the modern women in the relationships. Because if it wasn't the modern women, why, even when women date other women, do they have higher rates of everything that women consider to be bad in a relationship? Divorce and domestic violence. So I think it is a really interesting statistic to see that amongst lesbian relationships, you get higher rates of both of those things, while amongst gay relationships, as in men and dating men or marrying men, they're both lower. There's lower levels of domestic violence and lower likelihood of divorce. So I think that's really interesting.
And they going back to men. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing enough content that's pertaining to that. And it's just like, ladies, this ain't a wake-up call to y'all to get y'all stuff together. This ain't a wake-up call to tighten up and maybe heal and be better people. Like, guys is saying the same thing about y'all. Studs is saying the same thing about y'all. And studs are women too, just in case y'all forgot. Like, other women with sense and other men are saying the same thing about y'all. Y'all don't want to get y'all stuff together? Because I know me being done wrong by women, I know that incentivized me to be a better woman, because I don't want to cause nobody, man or woman, hurt that a woman did me, because that pain is a pain.
Yeah.
Like, women be ruthless with they joint. Like, a man can hurt you, but a woman will hurt you even more, dog. Like, it's just, like, y'all are savages. I ain't gonna hold you. And
you know, one of the interesting things I've noticed, like with lesbians or women or studs in general, like, so the lesbian women that dress like men, is in the African American community, they always dress like street dudes. You get what I'm saying? So it's like the women who even know what women like, they tend to dress like street dudes. You never really see a stud in the black community that's dressed in like a suit or an upstanding citizen. They always dress like hood dudes. It's probably because they know in the African-American community, a lot of the women gravitate towards that look. right? So I just think that that's really interesting. I've noticed that amongst the studs in the African-American community, they always dress like a specific type of man. They don't just dress like men. They dress like a specific type of man in order to attract the women that they want. I always thought that was interesting.
Y'all do it with such no remorse. Like, y'all just shrug y'all shoulders about it, like, all right, whatever. Like no remorse. Nothing. It's just like,
no accountability.
Man, like, man, woo. I can't even put it in words. I gotta make a sound effect to describe some of y'all's wickedness, dog. Like, man, like, y'all know how bad of a person you gotta be, how bad of a relationship partner you gotta be to make somebody consider doing a whole 180 in their sexuality? Man, ladies, y'all tighten up as a whole. You need to tighten up, because y'all gonna look up and ain't nobody gonna want to mess with y'all other just what's in between your legs.
Yeah.
And I know y'all don't want that. I know y'all don't want that. I know y'all don't want that. You look around and don't nobody want to take you serious. And if they are trying to mess with you, it's really just to get their rocks off and then go on about their business.
Mm-hmm.
Is that really what you want to be used for? Y'all don't want to be loved, right? Y'all don't want to be loved. Y'all don't want to be treated right. Y'all don't want none of that. Y'all just want to be reckless, do whatever y'all want, and then y'all expect for other people to just take it, tolerate it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then if they leave you alone, you flip it on them like they did something wrong.
Yeah. The traits to get a man to sleep with you as a woman, I mean, you don't really even have to have any positive traits. Men will literally sleep with women that they're not attracted to. They'll sleep with women that they actually hate. They'll sleep with women that sometimes they're even disgusted by, because guys are just so desperate to get some. Not me, but there are some guys that'll do that. But I think that it's really interesting that there are just different characteristics that it takes to get something short term versus to maintain something over the long term. And there are a lot of women who know how to trick the male gaze by wearing makeup, wearing all this shapewear, all this stuff that makes the curves of their body look a certain way, so they look good on the outside. They look like a woman on the outside, but then when you dig down deeper, they don't behave like a woman. And so they have the beauty, or they make themselves appear to be attractive with the face paint and all the other different methods on the outside to get a man's interest, but then to maintain that man's interest, you find out that they don't have any long-term traits. So oftentimes dudes are going into lust with these women because they like what they see, sleeping with them, and then when they out of that they get that post-nut clarity, they realize they don't even like this woman because she don't got any long-term characteristics for a relationship. And then women wonder, why am I getting used and abused and dudes are just sleeping with me and not having any longevity with me? But that's why. It's because you don't have any long-term characteristics.
I done heard so many women be like, only the strong can survive with me. Why somebody gotta be strong to deal with you? Why can't you just be strong enough to control yourself?
Yeah. Yep.
Like, y'all don't be hearing y'allself when y'all be talking, man. But yeah, that's really a thing, ladies. Tighten up. Cause these tomboys, these studs, and men is really getting tired of y'all. Y'all need to tighten up. Y'all need to tighten up. Cause honestly, quite frankly, if women as a whole tighten up, not only will the relationship and the dating pools will get better, society will get better too.
Agreed.
But you know, we gonna all keep being in hell. Just as long as women keep being in hell, society gonna be in hell. Everything gonna be in hell. So yeah.
Oh no, they going to hell by themselves. We good over here, y'all. We gonna keep making our money, stacking our bread, focusing on our goals. And if a woman wants to come along and be a part of that mission, and she can submit to whatever we got going on, then those are the women we gonna choose to deal with. But if she chooses to not go with what we got going on, they getting kicked to the curb. That's just how it's going. It's 2025. But I do think that it's interesting that it does take different skills to get a relationship versus to maintain a relationship. And oftentimes when I see studs, I'm going to be honest, y'all, I don't see very many older women that are in a relationship that are studs. I don't know at what age that starts to drop off. Maybe it's at the age where you realize the responsibility that a man has to carry, and you can opt out of that, like she's saying, by just going and dating a man instead of taking on that responsibility. I'm not sure, but I don't see very many 50-year-old women that are in lesbian relationships, if I'm quite honest about it. And I think it's just because, especially with dealing with ladies, it's just a different skill to attract a woman versus maintain a woman. And oftentimes, I think that it's harder to maintain than to get. Like, even with money, I think there are far more people who can make the money versus maintain the money. You see people like Adrian Peterson make $100 million a year. Or it was making $100 million out of his career, but now he's broke. Because oftentimes it's easier to get the thing that you want than it is to maintain the thing that you want, and those are two different sets of skills. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just think that it's interesting, but oftentimes, I'm gonna be honest, I don't see very many older lesbian relationships. Let me know in the comments below if this video was a W or L, and give me the HBO special. That's a Help Brother Out special. Hit the like and the subscribe button for more content. Also, join the Patreon. If you guys have not, I'll leave a link in the pinned comments and in the description below. Till next time.